He's a singer and minister who has won Grammy Awards, Stellar Awards, BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, Dove Awards, NAACP Awards, and he's one of the top-selling gospel artists in the world with over 10 million albums sold worldwide. Welcome none other than Donnie McClurkin.
Hey, my brother, you are.
We are not what he said.
You've gone too far now. You've gone too far.
Now, before we start talking, I have a complaint, sir. Because the last time you'd allow me to interview was like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah.
At the BET Celebration of Gospel. I mean,
yeah.
What sin did I commit for you to keep me so far away, Pastor Donnie McClurkin?
What sin did I commit to have aged so much in 10 years and you look exactly the same except for a gray beard? That, what we do across the countries, across the waters, it's so intense, it's so time-consuming, yes, that it doesn't afford great relationships to be in constant contact.
Yes.
But because the relationships are great, we can come back 10 years later and pick up exactly from where we were, like nothing's ever happened. We've seen each other in passing at different affairs.
Yes.
But the one thing about you and I is we've never lost the relationship.
Well, part of that is because every single week you're on radio, in
yes,
a radio station in UK, so I hear you all the time.
Yes.
But Pastor, you talk about the intensity of the ministry. Because one of the reasons we're talking is because of your new single, your new song, Not Yet,
yes,
which was born out of a near tragedy for all of us.
Yeah.
I remember watching you online at The Experience, which is the biggest gospel music celebration in the world. And I remember watching you, and a ton of others. And then not long after hearing that you'd been in a car crash and it was pandemonium all over the world. And out of that comes this song. But for those who are not aware of what happened,
yeah,
tell us what happened to you.
Well, I was just leaving church, just got back from Nigeria, went to our midweek service, and was going home from there, and had to go to Kenya 2 days later. And on the way home, all of a sudden, while I was driving, I felt myself going unconscious.
And by the way, you were driving and you were listening to your comedy channel.
Yes.
So maybe if you were listening to praise and worship, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, no. I was listening, honestly, I was listening to my Broadway music channel.
Okay.
I was listening to Broadway music, but same thing. And while I was driving, and I'm singing, and because I'm animated, it's 12 midnight. And all of a sudden, I felt myself starting to go out. And while I'm struggling, I'm saying, Jesus. And I'm saying, what is this? And then as I'm driving, I didn't get a chance to slow down. I just felt myself go out. And the last thing I said was, Jesus. And then when I woke up, they were trying to pull me out of the passenger seat with the front tire who came into the car, had pinned my leg. And my head's embedded in the airbags. And they're pulling me out, but they can't really pull me out because my leg is pinned. So they have to really finagle hard to get me out. And I'm going in and out of consciousness. That's all I remember.
So let's skip forward to when you get to the hospital. You have a few stitches. So there was no internal damage. So that in itself it's a miracle.
The car was totally totaled. Literally, they couldn't.
Now, for those who are not familiar, totaled means it was totally destroyed.
The front end of the car was destroyed. The axles were destroyed. I hit the middle divider at 55 to 60 miles an hour. Scraped along the side of it for about maybe 100, 200 yards, and destroyed the car. They were amazed that I could get out of the car without any broken bones to the legs, to the side, or anything else. And all I walked away with was 7 stitches here.
Gosh. So for you, I know generally you musicians and singers, you're singing all the time. When you came through at the hospital, what was the first song you were singing in your mind?
None. I was afraid.
Wow.
When I came to in the hospital, I was petrified because the reports hadn't come back whether I had any damage or not. And the pain was excruciating. And the whole fact of the matter made me afraid. So there was no song. The song came the next week after I got back from Kenya.
This is not yet.
Not yet.
Your current single.
My hand was in a brace. I was trying to fix my tie to go out to service. And the song came while I was in the mirror. Thought it was the end this time, but God said not yet. And I'm hearing the song. Thought that I would lose my mind, but God said not yet. Think about my yesterday, wonder how I got away. And then the line, but death heard Jesus say. And I'm like receiving the song. I'm not writing the song, I'm like receiving the song. And when I got out to the sanctuary, it just kept bothering me. I went over to the piano with a messed up hand and just played what I heard God give me and taught the group of singers while we were there.
But you sang it before your singers sang.
Yeah.
The church started singing it, and that was the first time.
First time ever.
Wow. So you talk about fixing your tie, you talk about, and you just skipped over Kenya. That was a whole drama by itself. You were trying to fix your tie, it was taking you 20 minutes to do. You go to Kenya, you minister to tens of thousands, but then your body's racked in pain, you end up in a wheelchair coming back.
Yeah, and hallucinating.
Hallucinating.
To my manager had to come and sit with me for over an hour in my room because I was hallucinating and I was in such pain and there was no doctor at that hour of the morning. And it was, my daddy always said, God takes care of babies and fools and you're not a baby no more. And that was my whole, I was a foolish man for jumping on a plane and going the day after the accident. Flying over to Kenya, just coming back from Nigeria.
Pastor Donnie, I'm going to stop you there because there's so much more to talk about because there are people who are watching who have lost loved ones in car crashes. There are people who are trying to make sense of what happened. And but you are rescued and you have the song Not Yet. And we'd love to hear more about this journey that you took.
Wonderful.
Yeah.